Hi students, today we are going to see Unit 2 Emergence of New Kingdoms in North India Social Science Study class. Okay, so today we are going to know about Advent of Islam in India. Islam as a religious faith originated at Mecca in Arabia. The founder of Islam was Prophet Muhammad. Who was the founder of Islam? That was Prophet Muhammad. Prophet meaning is forecaster of the future. The followers of Islam are called Muslims. They were called as Muslims. An Islamic state, especially the one ruled by a single religious and political leader, was known as Caliphate. Okay, spell it C-A-L-I-P-H-A-T-E. Caliphate. Okay, so all the great Islamic leaders take the title of Caliphate. Caliph means a representative of the Prophet Muhammad. So what is the Caliph means? It's a representative of the Prophet Muhammad. Two early caliphates were Umayyads and the Abbasids. What are the two early caliphates? They were Umayyads and the Abbasids. Both the Umayyads and the Abbasids expanded their rule separately by their conquests and by preaching the principles of Islam. So both are enlarged their ruled areas. So how they expanded? They defied local area empires and other religious empires. And also their preaching is the meaning of religious teaching. So they propagating or teaching the principle of Islam. Next, in the 8th century India, the Arab presence appeared in the form of a Muslim army that conquered the Sindh. So the Arab presence appeared in front of the Muslim army. So that army conquered the Sindhu regions. They got the success and they got the Sindhu region. But their future expansions was made impossible by the kings of Gangetic Plains and the Deccan. They succeed the Sindh region, but they could not expand it because the reason of the kings of Gangetic Plains and the Deccan. Next we will learn about Mahmud of Ghazni. AD Common Era 997 to 1030. Mahmud is said to have conducted 17 raids into India. So Mahmud is conducted 17 raids. It's the meaning of surprise attack. 17 attacks, surprise attacks into India. He want to conquer our India. At the time, North India was divided into number of small kingdoms. So at the time, North India was divided into small kingdoms. One of them was Sagi kingdom, which extended from Punjab to Kabul. So Sagi kingdom extended from Punjab to Kabul. The other important kingdoms were Kannauj, Gujarat, Kashmir, Nepal, Malwa and Bundelkhand. What are the other important kingdoms? They were Kannauj, Gujarat, Kashmir, Nepal, Malwa and Bundelkhand. The initial raids were against the Sagi kingdom, in which its king Jayapala was defeated in 1001. So first that starting attack were against the Sagi kingdom. So in that Sagi kingdom, in which its king Jayapala was defeated. Okay, so after his defeat, Jayabala immolated himself because he thought that this defeat was a disgrace. So the Mahmud of Ghazni rise against the Sagi kingdom, right? So the Jayabala was defeated. After the defeat, Jayabala thought this is the same on him. Okay, the same in the sense it's someone coming and attacking. He is defeated. So he himself immolated in the sense of kill as a sacrifice. So he killed himself, he burned himself. Okay, he thought that this defeat was a disgrace. Disgrace is the meaning of same. Okay, so he committed on death. Okay, immolated himself to death. Okay, after that, Jayabala's successor Anandabala also fought against Muhammad, but was defeated in the Battle of Vaihind near Peshawar in 1008. Okay, as a result of his victory at Vaihind, Mahmud extended his rule over Punjab. So Mahmud expanded his rule over Sindh to Punjab on his territory. Next we'll know about Muhammad of Ghori. Muhammad of Ghor or Muhammad Ghori started as a vassal of Ghazni but became independent after the death of Mahmud. Okay, so first Muhammad Ghori started as a vassal of Ghazni. Vassal is the meaning of slave or servant or subsequent of Ghazni. Okay, after the death of Muhammad, he became independent. So when Mahmud is passed away, he became independent, and also taking advantages of the decline of the Ghaznavid Empire, Muhammad Ghori brought Ghazni under his control. So the decline of Ghaznavid Empire, he took the Muhammad Ghori took the advantages of the Ghazni. Okay, and also he get the control over Ghazni. Okay, having made his position strong and secure at Ghazni, Muhammad turned his attention to India, and also he wanted to extend his empire by conquering India. So he wanted to enlarge his empire, his ruled area, by conquering India. Then in 1175, Muhammad captured Multan and occupied whole of it in his subsequent expeditions. And next, 1186, he attacked Punjab and captured that also. Next, let us see the Arab conquest of Sindh and its impact. In AD Common Era 712, Muhammad bin Qasim, who was the commander of the Umayyad kingdom, invaded Sindh. Qasim defeated Tahir, the ruler of Sindh, and killed him in the battle. So, Muhammad bin Qasim, he is the Umayyad kingdom commander, invaded Sindh. Okay, conquered Sindh. And next, defeated Tahir. Tahir is the ruler of Sindh, and also killed him in the battle. So next, once the ruler is dead, the capital of Sindh, Adur, was captured by the Muhammad bin Qasim. Okay, and Muhammad bin Qasim extended his conquest further into Multan. He didn't stop there. He also extended his conquest further into Multan. So he organized the administration of Sindh, and he was so kind. So the people of Sindh were given the status of protected subjects. So even though he killed and attacked and killed the king Tahir, right? But the people gave the status of protected subject because he gave the there was no interfaces in the lives and religions of the people. So he didn't force any religion concept and any other things. So the people gave the status of productive subjects. But soon Qasim was recalled by the Caliph. Okay. So soon Qasim was recalled by the Caliph and he returned back from the Sindh. The Arab scholars visited Sindh and studied many Indian literary works. So Arab scholars, Arab legends visited our Sindh and studied many Indian literary works. They translated many Sanskrit books on astronomy, philosophy, mathematics and medicine into Arabic. So they know Arabic, right? But we all are Indian made it in Sanskrit language. So they learned that Sanskrit language, then translated into Arabic. Okay, what are the books are they translated? They were astronomy, philosophy, mathematics and medicine. They learned the numerals 0 to 9 from India. They learned the number system from us. Okay. Until then, the people in the West did not know the use of 0. So they don't know any knowledge regarding the numbers and the 0. They get it from us. Okay. Through the Arabs, Europe gained more knowledge in mathematics. So the Arab peoples are used to go many places in the world. So used to carry the knowledge also. Though Europe gained more knowledge in mathematics. The importance of 0 was learned by them from India. It is believed, not only in the number system, it is believed that the people in the West and the Arabs learned the game of chess only from the Indians. So, Indians are the origin of the chess. Okay. So, that's all about the today's class, students. Thank you.